Assalamu alaikum fam, hope you're doing well. As you know, I am very fond of the works of Shakespeare and have read extensively on them. So we are going to read Gaius Julius Caesar together. He was one of my favorites in history. I had a statue of him, but when I became Muslim, I got rid of it because I didn't want it to border on idolatry. But he is a very formidable person in history. So, reading Shakespeare really helps you master English in general. And for me, it's pretty easy to understand, but others can't, so we'll read it together. I took a class on Shakespeare and got an A, and Macbeth is my favorite Shakespearean play, but we've already read that on the channel. So now we'll do Caesar, and I'll be reading it for the first time along with you. So let's begin. Act 1, Scene 1, Rome, a street. Enter Flavius, Marillus, and certain commoners. Okay, so now Flavius is gonna speak, okay? Hence, home, you idle creatures, get you home. Is this a holiday? What, you know not? Being mechanical, you ought not walk upon a laboring day without a sign of your profession. Speak, what trade art thou? So, okay, hence, so, home, you idle creatures. So he's telling them, get out of here. You can't just be standing around. Now, he's saying, is this a holiday? So it's like, you get a break? What's going on here? You know? And then he says, being mechanical, meaning artisans. These people work with their hands, right? And then you ought not walk upon a laboring day without a sign of your profession. So why are you walking on a day when you're supposed to be working not with your uniforms, right, of your profession? And he's asking them, what trade are you? Like, what do you do for a living, right? First commoner. So the first commoner and the second commoner will be speaking to Marillus, okay? Even though Flavius has yelled, why, sir, a carpenter. Marillus. Where is thy leather apron and thy rule? What dost thou with thy best apparel on? You, sir, what trade are you? Truly, sir, in respect of a fine workman, I am but, as you would say, a cobbler. But what trade art thou? Answer me directly. Okay, so look at this. Marillus is asking the first commoner, where's your apron and your rule? So, you know, your measuring tool. It's like, why are you with nice clothes on? Why aren't you in your usual work clothes? Okay? Then the second commoner is saying he is a cobbler. Cobbler is someone who fixes shoes, okay? But also remember that to cobble someone can mean to beat them, alright? That'll come in handy later. And he's saying, answer me directly, like just tell me, like you can feel the intensity. So here you saw Flavius say, hence home, you idle creatures. Speak, what trade art thou? So already, like, you have two characters who are really forward in what they're telling to the common people, right? A trade, sir, that I hope I may use with a safe conscience, which is indeed, sir, a mender of bad souls. Now, here's something interesting that you need to know about Shakespeare. So, souls is S-O-L-E-S, right? The sole of the shoe. Now, a cobbler is a shoe fixer. So he's saying, yes, to fix shoes. But to cobble can also mean to beat. And souls Shakespeare can also mean it as your soul. Your inherent soul. Not the soul of your shoe, but your internal soul. A soul is inside your shoe, and your soul is inside you. So you have to understand with Shakespeare, he has a lot of metaphors and double meanings behind much of what he writes. Cause see how he said safe conscience? And then bad souls? A bad soul doesn't have a safe conscience. It has a dangerous conscience. But the way he wrote soul was the way you write it for a shoe. I don't know if you get it. Marillus. What trade, thou knave, thou naughty knave, what trade? So Shakespeare, he's very, naughty knave. So a knave is like someone's a little mischievous, a little knave, like a little witty, sassy little bugger. you know? And he's he asked the commoner, right? Like, what trade are you? You naughty knave. Like, he's, again, going in on him. Nay, I beseech you, sir, be not out with me. Yet if you be out, sir, I can mend you. Now notice this. Notice this. If you be out, I can mend you. Think about the play on words here. So if someone has, remember how the commoner, he mentioned safe conscious? He said he was a mender of bad souls, but Shakespeare spelled it the S-O-L-E, and he's the cobbler, right? I don't know if you get it. What meanest thou by that? Mend me, thou saucy fellow. Okay, so like saucy is like, you're being a little saucy with me, huh? You know, like you're getting a little witty here. Now, even Marilla says, mend me. Now, he's talking to a shoe repairman, right? A cobbler, someone who fixes the soles of shoes and repairs shoes, right? Now, there's the play on words again. Remember, the commoner said safe conscious, mender of bad souls, but they didn't spell it S-O-U-L-S. They put it S-O-L-E, which is for a shoe. And again, Morales here is saying, mend me. It's the play on words here. Why, sir, cobble you. Thou art a cobbler, out thou. Okay, so this one is very witty. Extremely witty. To cobble means to beat, but also to fix shoes. So do you see how they're going back and forth with what the meaning could be of that position? And then when Flavia says, a cobbler art thou, can be like, oh, you someone who's going to beat, or you're going to be someone who fixes shoes? I don't know if you get it. It's very clever. That's why Shakespeare is one of the greatest writers ever to exist in history. Truly, sir, all that I live by is with the all. I meddle with no tradesman's matters, nor women's matters, but with all. I am indeed, sir, a surgeon to old shoes. When they are in great danger, I recover them, as proper men as ever trod upon neat's leather have gone upon my handiwork. So here, he says, I am indeed, sir, a surgeon to old shoes. Again, back to the playing with the word of cobbler, to beat or to mend. And then he says here, trod upon neat's leather have gone upon my handiwork. So meaning, even the wealthy men have sought his services to fix their shoes, and they're able to afford the finest leather. So he's saying his craftsmanship is so good, even rich men seek him out, and he has experience with tending to the needs of the wealthy, right? Flavius, but wherefore art not in thy shop today? Why dost thou lead these men about the streets? So he's saying, like, where are you? Like, where are you going? Why are you, like, out here? What are you doing? Because remember, Flavius says, you idle creatures, get you home. And then Morellus is saying, where is your leather apron? Answer me directly. Like, they're puzzled at how the people are out doing what they're doing, right? Get the mood here. Truly, sir, to wear out their shoes, to get myself into more work. Okay. Did you get that? So the second commoner, he's answering Flavius. He's like, I'm making everyone walk around so that they can wear out their shoes so I can get more work. Get it? Because he's a shoe repairman. So he's like being a little witty. You get it? So he's like, why are you making these people walk in the street? Why aren't you working? He's like, well, if they walk on their shoes, they're going to get worn out. I'm going to have more work. So he's saying, I'm leaving them out on the street because they can wear out their shoes and I can have more work to do. It's not the real reason, but he's being a little bit back with him. He's being saucy, But indeed, sir, we make holiday to see Caesar and to rejoice in his triumph. So there, he just tells him right there to make a holiday, meaning to have the day off. So Caesar is in his triumphal parade. So basically, everybody is out and not doing their jobs because they want to see the triumphal parade of Caesar, right? Morellus, wherefore rejoice? What conquest brings he home? What tributaries follow him to Rome? to grace in captive bonds his chariot wheels. So here what he's saying is, what's he bringing back? Because the captives used to be tied to the chariot. So remember Caesar, I read Caesar's Gallic Wars, I had it on my channel, but I deleted it because everyone was whining about my hair showing. But I read it on the channel, Caesar's Gallic Wars. It's right here. And they would tie to their chariots those whom they had conquered. And the Druids got conquered by Caesar, right? So he's saying, who's going to be tied to the chariot of Caesar and paraded through the streets, right? You blocks, you stones, you worthless, senseless things. Oh, you hard hearts, you cruel men of Rome. Knew you not Pompey? Many a time and oft have you climbed up the walls and battlements, to towers and windows, yea, to chimney tops, your infants in your arms, and there have sat the livelong day with patient expectation. Okay, so here, how he is insulting them. Calling the workers senseless things. He called them mechanical. Well, the other ones, both of them, they're really digging into these commoners here. You can kind of see a little bit of a haughtiness here, right? With the way in which they talk to the common people. Even though the cobbler and the carpenter both answer them respectfully, but with a little bit of wit. You can tell the difference. So here he's saying, knew you not Pompey? Now remember, Caesar defeated Pompey. Even though Pompey, I believe, was beheaded in Alexandria by Ptolemy, Cleopatra's brother. Yes. And his head was chopped off and sent to Caesar. No, Caesar, I think, went to Egypt, and the head was presented in a basket or on a plate. I forget which one it was, but his head got chopped off, and remember, Caesar's daughter Julia married Pompey as an alliance. So they were comrades together against Sulla, who was more powerful at the time. And then later, after Julia died in childbirth, I believe it was childbirth, that's when the rift between Pompey and Caesar grew in order for competition, right? Because Pompey stayed in Rome as Caesar went to go fight the Gauls, right? Long history there. So when he says here, knew you not Pompey? Pompey defeated many pirates, and he was a very good warrior and a very good conqueror, who would also have had parades in his campaigns, right? So you can tell here that Flavius and Marillus are disgusted with the people on how they are rabble-rousing for Caesar, as if they never knew Pompey, kind of highlighting how the common folk will cheer for no matter who's in the triumph. Do you see? Do you follow? With patient expectation. So it's like they're patiently looking, oh, who's coming? Here comes Caesar, here comes Pompey, right? You see? And he says, tower to windows, yea, to chimney top. So they climb high. They have, they're everywhere. They want to see. The livelong day with patient expectation to see great Pompey pass the streets of Rome. And when you saw his chariot but appear, have you not made a universal shout? That Tiber trembled underneath her banks to hear the replication of your sounds made in her concave shores. Now, the Tiber is a river, right? So, he's highlighting again how everyone would be like cheering and screaming when the chariot of Pompey would pass through the streets of Rome during his triumphs. And now, the Tiber River trembles with the shouts and cries of the common people of Rome for a new parade triumph of Caesar, you see? And do you now put on your best attire? And do you now call out a holiday? And do you now strew flowers in his way that comes in triumph over Pompey's blood? Be gone! So here, you can kind of see his alliance a little bit with Pompey, but also the disgust of the common people. So now he's saying, do you now put on your best attire? Because remember, before they're asking them, why are you not in your uniforms? Why are you culling a holiday has more of an aggressive tone. To cull means to kill. To really cut out a day. So he's saying that you really dug in to cut out a time to glorify Caesar in his parade at his return, right? He's saying, be gone. Now remember, previously they were saying, get you idle ones back to your homes. So he's really working on chasing people away. Run to your houses, fall upon your knees, pray to the gods to intermit the plague that needs must light on this ingratitude. So what he just said right there was, get home, pray to the gods to make a plague to kill all of you because you're so ungrateful for the triumphs that Pompey did to take care of Rome. And now you're cheering on Caesar, who killed Pompey's son, one of Pompey's sons, right? Very interesting here. Very interesting, right? Flavius. Go, go, good countrymen, and for his fault assemble all the poor men of your sort. Draw them to the Tiber banks and weep your tears, and through the channel to the lowest stream do kiss the most exalted shores of all. So here Flavius is changing it. So here Marillus says, you're ungrateful, you should be had a plague upon you. You are senseless things, he said, remember? Now Flavius has changed his tone. Go, good countrymen. Right? Now he says, he's saying to cry so much that the Tiber river banks fill up. So he's saying you should go and weep and cry for how you have switched sides in glorifying Caesar instead of being appreciative of what Pompey did for Rome. Very interesting thing here. You see? And then it says, exeunt all the commoners. So now the scene has shifted. And we're still in scene 1, act 1. Seer where the basest metal be not moved, they vanish tongue-tied in their guiltlessness. Go you down the way towards the Capitol. This way I will disrobe the images, if you do find them decked with ceremonies. May we do so. You know it is the feast of Lupercal. So notice this. So the feast of Lupercal was a god of, their pagan god of fruitfulness. So what Shakespeare wrote right here, that he's going to disrobe the images, decked with ceremonies. So statues decorated with flowers and stuff, he's saying he's going to take it all. Notice, so this is a triumphal parade, a giant ceremony. The fruits of the war Caesar's bringing back with captives tied to his chariot. So there's a double play here on words, on imagery. The festival for their pagan god of fruitfulness, which means abundant of harvest. And now Caesar is returning with abundant harvest of war booty, captives, and celebratory joy, and the people are in their best attire. So there's double celebration going on. So he's saying to Marillus he's going to go take off those images, which shows you that he's very anti-celebration towards Caesar, right? Flavius. It is no matter. Let no images be hung with Caesar's trophies. It's all about, and I'll drive away the vulgar from the streets. So do you too, where you perceive them thick. So what is he saying? Where you see the people who are gathered together, happily cheering, encourage them to go home. He's literally trying to rain on Caesar's parade, quite literally. He's trying to make people go home and that they cannot celebrate, and he calls them vulgar. Senseless things, vulgar. You see how he talks about the people. These growing feathers plucked from Caesar's wing will make him fly an ordinary pitch. Like how beautiful that is. It's a very clever insult. Plucked from Caesar's wing, growing feathers, right? So Caesar is rising to power. The people love him. Now they want to pluck out his wings so he can't soar so high. Pitch is a sound, right? Because remember here we heard the people were roaring to the point where the Tiber River would shake. So that roar is a much higher than a pitch, right? It's a bunch of pitches. So what he's saying with a play of words also is that to take away the people is to take away the feathers, because there won't be much as a roar. Do you get it? So as he's saying pluck the feathers while he's telling people to go home, there won't be as much energy there to lift up Caesar's soul and make him feel like he can soar. I don't know if you're getting the play on words here, but it's very clever. Who else would soar above the view of men and keep us all in servile fearfulness? So what is he saying here? Soar above them and keep us in servile fearlessness. Caesar's powerful, right? When something like a predator flies over your head, you're like, whoa, right? Like, whoa. You see, the eagle is symbol of Rome, right? The standard bearer. When a predator bird comes off, the other animals they see and they scurry, even other birds, right? Caesar is that eagle, and his wings are flourishing because his triumphs are flourishing, and his popularity amongst the populace is flourishing, right? He's in his moment of glory. And Marius and Flavius are trying to pluck out the feathers, pluck out the people from contributing to his rising of the ranks, right? So a lot of wordplay here in the scene 1, act 1, and it's just fascinating. So I hope you like that. That is the end of scene 1, but it's powerful. He's such a great writer. These growing feathers plucked from Caesar's wing will make him fly an ordinary pitch. Who else would soar above the view of men and keep us all in servile fearfulness? There's a reason why Shakespeare is remembered, because he's so good with his poetic expression in English. It's just fantastic. Fly an ordinary pitch, because sound flies across the airwaves as well, right? And uplifts you. You see that? He's so brilliant.